What's up, guys? Winter Kills here, and welcome to a brand new and updated Salamangreat deck profile for the month of August. Post ban list, obviously. I've been hesitant at taking a crack at this deck. Obviously, with Gazelle and Circle going both to 1, I've been hesitant. I only have 2 Signet Minings because I don't feel like picking up the third one just yet. I would recommend playing 3, of course. Drawing into Signet Mining in here is just really good. So if you have 3 Signet Mining, feel free to play the 3, and if you want to take anything else in the build, feel free to, obviously. But I recommend 3 Signet Mining. Just because I'm not playing 3 in here doesn't mean I think you should, not play 3. I think you should. I just don't have a third one at the moment. I'll show you guys what I would cut for that third copy when we get into the profile. Also, I want to mention a quick shout out to our sponsor over at Imperium Duelist. They've got brand new sleeves. They buy 2 or more and get 1 free sale going on their sleeves. They also, I think, restocked a bit on their Thunderstorm and Ring of Fire limited run mats. So if you want to pick any of those up, you can. You can use that code down in the description below to save 10% off your entire order. And also, there's a link to the website down below if you're interested in picking up any of the things that I'm using in my this current video or any of the other videos, any of the sleeves or mats, etc., dice, you name it, calculator cases, whatever you want to get. So yeah, feel free to check them out. But let's go ahead and get into the profile. Of course, we have 3 Salamangreat Foxy, a walking pot of duality for Salamangreat cards, and it can also special summon itself out of the grave if there's a face-up spell or trap on the field, which comes in really handy, especially when you have your field spell up, because you can just link them away for your Balinks. Balinks grabs your field spell, play that, and then bring him back out, and you're already halfway to a Gazelle. Once you get Balinks Gazelle, it's pretty easy to start your combo, your normal combo. Obviously, not Balinks Gazelle, but Balinks Mirage Stalio. Once you get that established, it's pretty easy to do normal combo. It just depends on what other, interruptions you see and can get access to with that. If your Gazelle can go through to dump something to the graveyard to get that set back and everything. So, Foxy, a fantastic card, even more so now that Gazelle and Circle are at 1. And you do have to discard for that effect, obviously, but in most cases, it can save you. So, then we have 3 copies of Spinny. I think I was playing this at 2 before the list, but now with obviously Gazelle and Circle at 1, I think playing 3 is fine. Then this is a choice which I was hesitant on running, but I think you kind of have to play Flame Buffalo. Maybe not 3, maybe 2. But I think 2 or 3 is really good in this list, just because it's that consistency now, which kind of seemed like a win more type thing in prior list when we had 3 Gazelle and 3 Circle. But I think this card is really helpful now to just draw into more combo pieces, draw into that Signet Mining to that Circle to help extend your plays even further. And having a Cyburst in hand to discard isn't that difficult, since I've bumped up the Salamangreat count a little bit and also added in a little tech card of mine that helps resolve this card a bit. So yeah, 3 Flame Buffalo. Then I'm playing 3 Reclusia, level 3 Fire. Basically just special summon it to his own A-Link monster points to. And also has the fact if it's normal special summon, you can target a Crusadia card you control and a card on your opponent's side of the field and destroy them. So it does, pose a bit of an interruption if you need it to be, or some spot removal. But this is basically just level 3 fodder to help get into your Mirage Stalio easier if you can't get to Gazelle and Spinny. Or if you can't get to, a majority of the combo pieces, this can sort of help complete that 50% of that play. Then we have 2 copies of Jak Jaguar. I think playing 2 Jak Jaguar is really good, because sometimes seeing this card in your opening hand is nice just for discard fodder or what have you, or if this card gets banished for some reason, having a second copy as a backup is always nice, in my opinion. Then I'm also playing 2 copies of Foul, because I like just having easier access to get monsters on the board, and I think making rank 4s in this deck is actually a little bit better now, since we have the Dugair's the Timeless rank 4. It's a fire monster. It's really nice because it can help draw you into combo pieces or reborn anything out of your grave, which I think fits this deck strategy really well. So making rank 4s a bit easier is nice, especially with Foul. The 1 Falco still, obviously the 1 Gazelle, still have to play the Gazelle. An absolute mandatory card at 1 now. But yeah, that's it for the Salamangreat / Fire Monsters, etc., etc. Then some other cards I'm playing, of course, the 1 Lady Debug, 1 Sea Archiver, You guys have seen me play this in B8. I think this card fits really, really well in Salamangreat as well, because it's a great discard target off of your Flame Buffalo, because this is a Cyberse monster, and then if anything is normal or special summoned to a zone like monster points to, you can summon this out from your hand or graveyard. It's a level 3. It is a water monster, yes, but it is still a nice extender to see. And then I'm playing 1 Artifact Scythe, because I am playing the Artifact Engine here. Obviously, the Artifact Engine is completely optional. You don't have to play it. You can play other traps or not play traps at all. I'm just choosing to do so because I want this deck to be sort of a die-hard go first. Not really die-hard go first, but a go first deck that has a bit of a stun aspect to it, since it can't always be as explosive every turn with the hits to consistency that we've seen. So going forward, we have 2 copies of Sign Up Mining. Like I said, this would be 3 copies. I only have 2. I'd recommend playing 3 of these if you can get your hands on 3. But 2, I think, works as well. Is it as optimal? No. But does it work? Yes. Then moving forward, 2 copies of Will of the Salamangreat. Monster Reborn is pretty good. It's also kind of a mini soul charge, and sometimes seeing this in your opening hand, you need it to sort of fix your play. So I think being able to play an extra copy as opposed to builds that we're just playing 1 or even 0 at some points, I think playing 2 is fine. 1 Sanctuary. Obviously, we've always played the 1. 1 Upstart Goblin. This could be your replacement, or you could cut this for that 3rd Sign Up Mining. So this is just an empty slot. You could play whatever you want for the Upstart Goblin, but I think, just playing a little bit extra draw power in here is nice. I was playing Desires in here previously, but would not play it in here now just because, Gazelle and Circle are at 1. I don't want to banish those really important cards off of the Desires. So 1 Circle, obviously. 1 Fusion of Fire, built-in Super Poly, so might as well play it. And 1 Foolish Burial to dump the Spinny to the grave. Sea Archiver, Jack Jaguar, Falco, whatever you need into the grave just to get it there, just for extra extension. So that is it for the spells. Not too many spells here. 2, 4, 6, 8, and 9 spells. Not too many at all. And then we have some traps here. Actually, a decent trap lineup as opposed to the norm. We usually don't have too many traps in most of the decks that I play, but we actually do this time around. 3 Artifact Sanctum. So basically, normal combo with this card, set face down, obviously for turn 1, is really strong, just because going into Scythe can pretty much turn off a lot of the best decks completely for a turn, which gives you a chance to either catch up if you didn't open too well, or try to push for game next turn. And obviously, the opening the Scythe is a bit of a drawback, but you can actually activate Scythe on your turn by popping it with Rage while it is set, so it is a thing that you can do. Next, we have 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. You do not have to play Impermanence. This could be Solemn Strike, Breakthrough Skill, Lost Wind. It could be Ash Blossom. It could be Called by the Grave. It could be whatever you want it to be. You don't have to play the Impermanence if you don't feel like picking these up and don't want to pay the price for them. 2 Solemn Judgment. This could be 3. You could drop the Upstart for a 3rd one, but I'd rather have the Upstart than a Solemn Judgment, but might as well play at least more than 1 now since this card is at 3 for some reason. So yeah, 2 Solemn Judgment, and then 1 Roar and 1 Rage. Just the standard Salamangreat trap lineup. Yeah, like I said, this card can activate your Scythe on your opponent's turn. So if you draw this and no Sanctum, you still have a chance to be able to use that. Send 1 Salamangreat monster from your hand or face that field to the graveyard, then target 1 card in the field and destroy it. And then it said if this card is destroyed, card in the spell and trap zone is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, special summon it. If this card was special summoned during your opponent's turn, your opponent cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this turn. So you can activate it off of that. Same thing with the Sanctum, I believe. If this card in its owner's possession is destroyed by an opponent's... Oh, so no, that has to be destroyed. So yeah, there's a little bit of synergy there. Even if you do open the Scythe, you can still resolve it with the Rage, which you can set up easily through Gazelle and stuff, and your Sunlight Wolf. So now we'll go into the extra deck here. Extra deck, pretty standard, -1 card, I would say. 3 Balinks, of course. You gotta max out on those. Same thing with Sunlight Wolf. You're gonna go through these like it's nothing. You go through these really, really fast. 1 Heat Leo, 2 Heat Leo. Yeah, definitely gotta play the 2 Heat Leo 100%. 1 Heat of the Fire Charmer Ablaze. Pretty good generic link 2 in here that allows us to do some cool plays late game, so I like that card. 2, or not 2, but 1 Update Janner and the Transcode for the extra damage, so I like this little package, although not necessary, I guess. 1 Violet Chimera, of course, for the fusion play. Then we have 1 Mirage Stalio, 1 Abyss Dweller, and the last card in the extra deck, 1 number 60 Dugares, the Timeless. This is a fire effect monster too, which is nice, so you can use it to link in to your Sunlight Wolf or to your Heat Leo, whatever you want to do with it. So you can use this as an extra extension. So for some reason, let's say you make Balinks, and then you can establish sort of a rank 4 play underneath that, whether it be maybe you discarded a a Jak Jaguar to the grave off of your Buffalo, and you have a foul in hand. You can get a rank 4 play going. You can detach 2, draw 2 more cards, skip your next draw phase, albeit, but it might not matter if you just draw really well off this card. And then you can link this and this, the Balinks away for a Sunlight Wolf, no problem, because it just takes 2 fire effect monsters to go into. So I like this card. You could drop it for a Borreload, Borrelsword, or whatever, Avermax. I'm just not opting into playing here. Like, these cards are cuttable too. Don't take my extra deck as like set in stone. There's just tons of options now with this extra deck. You could play these, and instead of playing these, you could play Avermax and Borreload, or Borrelsword and Borreload, or Borrelsword and Avermax. It's entirely up to you. It doesn't really matter. So extra deck is pretty much anything goes, minus, you know, the 2 Heat Leo, the 3 Sunlight Wolf, and the 3 Balinks. Pretty much that Mirage Stalio and Abyss Dweller. Anything after that with those slots, and, you know, the Violet Chimera too, I guess there's a little bit of room for creativity in there. So that's it for the profile. We'll go ahead and do a test hand or two. As for combos, there's really no combos that have really changed. I mean, I can show you guys a combo really just involving like Buffalo and Sea Archiver with the interaction there, just to show you guys sort of how that works. So we'll go ahead and get set up for a little combo, and then of course we'll do a test hand afterwards as well. So I guess for this little combo here, I'll just show you guys sort of how to take advantage of these new extenders we have to work with the deck. They're not really new, but they're cards we have to sort of turn to now to be able to resolve some of our effects. And I'll just show you guys the interactions with Reclusia, the Sea Archiver, and of course Buffalo, which has been a part of the Salamangreat strategy for quite some time. So obviously you do want to start by normaling your Buffalo and linking it away into a copy of your Balinks, and then I'd go Balinks, Chainlink 2, and Buffalo, Chainlink 1. We're going to discard the Archiver here, and we're going to go grab our field spell, of course, the Salamangreat Sanctuary, add that to hand, and then we're going to draw 2 cards. And like I said, anything we get on, like anything we open on top of these 3 cards is pretty much bonus, whether we open like, you know, Sign Up Mining. If we open Sign Up Mining, the play obviously changes completely. We just ditch like the, you know, the Archiver for Gazelle. We don't get the instant special summon of the Gazelle, but it's still a pretty nice card to have anyways. And then we'll draw 2. We draw into Roar and Foxy. So these are just bonuses at this point, these cards. And then we would play this, special summon the Reclusia to the zone that Balinks points to, and then Sea Archiver will summon itself out of the grave as such. And then we'll go into Mirage Stalio, activate Mirage Stalio's effect. I'm going to detach the Archiver so we get that into the graveyard for next turn as a reoccurable level 3. We'll go ahead and get access to our Gazelle now. Activating Gazelle's effect, we'll dump the Jak Jaguar to the graveyard. And again, it depends on else what you open with these cards. Let me zoom out a little bit here. It depends on what else you open with these cards. You know, that would change basically how you change the play up a bit. Like if we didn't already open Roar, you probably could just send Roar instead, and, you know, work with the cards you have there. But now we'll link these 2 away into a Sunlight Wolf. Then we could just link again into another Sunlight Wolf using the field spell, and then we'll go ahead and use the Jak Jaguar to summon itself out by returning this back, and then we'll add a fire monster back. We could either add back the Buffalo or the Gazelle. The Gazelle is kind of obvious there. And then we can link this away for another copy of Balinks. So if they do get rid of our Sunlight Wolf, any, you know, Salamangreat spells or traps we have are still alive. So that's why I like going for the Balinks on top of that. So pretty much standard play. Yeah, this is pretty much establishable just with those 3 cards we have, and anything else you open on top of that backer wise, whether it be this, Sanctum, Impermanence, or Judgment, you name it, it's just bonus. So yeah, there's that. Now we'll go ahead and do a quick little test hand just so I can run you guys through basically a standard hand and how that would play out. All right, so I pile shuffled real fast. Now we'll go ahead and draw into a random hand. and see what we can do with it. Hopefully it isn't just too bad. You know, the Curse of the Camera. We don't need the Curse of the Camera striking. Reclusia, Artifact Scythe, Artifact Sanctum, Spinny, and a copy of Spinny. So this isn't very optimal now, is it? But of course, on camera, I open up the Scythe and the Sanctum together, but we'll make do with what we have here. So I'll obviously start by normaling the Spinny, linking that away into a copy of Balinx, and then we'll go ahead and use Balinx's effect to search our field spell. Of course, important part of our strategy is that field spell allows us to sort of ignore the link summoning mechanic anyways, or at least ignore the link summoning mechanic in some of our cards that we have, like Sunlight Wolf, how we make those cards, what do we need to make them. Very, very important card for the strategy. So we'll go ahead and play that, and then we will summon Reclusia, and then special summon the Spinny out of grave. So Reclusia coming in very clutch again here. And then we'll go into not Dugair's the Timeless, but of course the Mirage Stalio. And then from here, we're going to detach the... We'll detach the Reclusia. Actually, no, we'll detach the Spinny, just so we have a Salamangreat monster in our graveyard in case we need it for anything. Now we'll special summon the Gazelle, activate Gazelle's effect. We'll send Rage here since we do open or have opened the Scythe. So we'll dump the Rage to the graveyard. And then here we will link these two into a Sunlight Wolf. And then we'll use Sunlight Wolf's effect here, or not Sunlight Wolf's effect, but the field spell to link into another copy. Just like that. We didn't really get to Jak Jaguar. I mean, to be honest, we could have gotten to Jak Jaguar, but I'm just sort of adapting to what we have in our hand here, just so we can add back Rage off of Sunlight Wolf's other effect. And now we basically have the ability to set all three of these. It's not the most optimal board, but we're still able to, at least during their turn, activate the Rage, discard the Spinny, and then destroy the Scythe, and then special summon the Scythe to the zone that Sunlight Wolf points to, and then we can go Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, add back a Fire Monster, we can add back Gazelle just like that, and then we lock them out of the extra deck for the turn. We still have a set Sanctum here, which is pretty much useless, but if they destroy it, we get to pop a card on their field as well. So not too bad there, if you ask me. We're able to trigger our own Scythe by our own Rage and activate our Sunlight Wolf at the same time while locking them out of the extra deck and getting a Gazelle back to our hand and drawing an Impermanence for turn, which is fine because we have Gazelle in our hands and we still have this Mirage Stalio on board, hopefully. So that is it for that test hand. Played out pretty well. Hopefully I didn't miss anything there, but if I did, feel free to let me know down in the comment section below. A little feedback is always appreciated. And yeah, that's my take on Salamangreat's post list. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, it's pretty rough out here with having Circle and Gazelle both at 1 now, but the deck is still definitely playable and definitely still pretty strong. Not nearly as consistent, of course, which might obviously be the source of its loss of power, but it is still a pretty good competitor in my opinion. So yeah, that's going to be it for this deck profile and test hand and combo. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like. Check out Imperium Duelist for some amazing card gaming products, etc., etc. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Join the Discord if you haven't already, and follow me on Twitch as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. As always, Winterkill signing out. We'll see you guys in the next one.